Greetings, listeners and viewers. Your host for the night, Zach, here, introducing you to The Call of Cthulhu podcast by Twisted Gears Studios. For those new to our shows or just catching up, our episodes air at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on YouTube, with live chat with various members of the cast before going up on all our audio services 1 hour later. So if you want to react live with the community as the episode airs, YouTube is the place. Don't forget to visit our website for our merch and our Ko-fi page, where each coffee you donate is a luck point added to a pool the Keeper uses to top off our players' luck each session. If you donate enough coffees for all of us, Derek gets dice to mess with us. So there is that. But for now, last we left our investigators, with the team still separated, Althea and Marion continue further upstairs in their pursuit of Gohl. Their investigation has led them to a door to many places. They must now explore the warehouse and hope they can survive to return to the lodge and their friends.
Well, hello there.
Hello there.
Quit throwing stuff at me. Red card, motherfucker. You're out.
Judging from the way things have been going, we are going to be out of the room in a moment here, so...
Yes, you will. Something I forgot to do last game, of course, is to go over everyone's skills. Any check marks you have. We're going to start off with Agatha. Any check marks you have?
I have a number of them. So listen, I have an 80%, so I have to get over 80.
Yeah, you have to get over 80.
82!
Oh my god.
Okay, whatever.
Roll me a d6.
I mean, you are a psychologist.
how much
You do need to be a good listener.
2.
Get 2. I've changed, normally in the rules is you every time you succeed in an experience, you roll a d10 and you add it to it. But what I've been doing is the lower your skill is, I have you roll a potential to get higher than that, and then the higher it is less, because I also do experience a lot more. Normally it's at the end of a scenario, right?
We're on our 4th scenario.
Right?
I have medicine.
What's your medicine at?
50. 20. No.
This is also where we get a peek at what they've been doing.
Occult. 54. 27.
Your occult is at what?
54.
Psychology.
Nobody explains 55-20.
A lot of 20s. A lot of the 20 and that. It's fine.
Spot hidden is at 69.
Still, keep it there.
I'll keep it there.
52.
Everybody,
And I believe that should do everything.
Cool. As we move over to Amos. What one's that?
Listen
Listen
here, buddy. It's a 38 out of 78, so that's nothing. And then I have 73 in spot hidden, which is a 95.
Oh,
73 in spot hidden?
Yep.
Go ahead and roll me a D... Oh, good. Screw it, man. D8. I want that one to go up. Roll me a D8.
6.
That's 6
yeah.
to your spot hidden.
79.
Oh. That's the only 2, correct?
Yeah, that I had, yeah.
Marion.
I have no skills checked.
I need to do something about that.
I just rolled really terrible last time.
She was really 40 down on the luck.
No, 29 down.
Whatever it was a lot.
Althea.
I don't have any either.
Yeah, I gotta start making... It's just me relaying a story, but it's still fun, right?
Still fun.
It's still fun.
I don't think I did as many rolls last time either.
Oh, it's fine. It didn't... Yeah, it was more just, stuff.
It was more just failure and luck burning.
Hey, hey, boss man. Speaking of luck, I got 61.
Yeah, yes, I'm only doing that at every second game.
Damn it!
Because you're not playing this game, because that way, and the next game, when we do luck, it'll be like, oh, what did they do in
It'll
their
be
games?
a competition.
Yeah.
Of how
Fucked our situations are? Yeah, that's fair.
We won last time.
We did.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And then, of course, this game I'm going to be mostly, I am going to be focusing on Althea and Marion's situation, which means Agatha and Amos has to get the fuck out.
Bye.
Don't die.
Bye.
Just hope you don't have to be called in after like 15 minutes or something, because that means things went badly.
Oh, that's good to know. Good luck someday.
double check some of my notes.
Yep, sure, not a problem. I'll jump right into it.
Shit show on the road.
At the end of the last game we played, I'm fairly certain. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, there. You were in sort of like a Quonset, like a warehouse area, from the door from the 3rd floor with the 3rd key.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
You were in here. There was all these vats.
I didn't write down what we rolled each time because we.
I know what you
did. Okay.
Yeah. With haphazardly laid around this room seems to be these vats. They're around 7 feet high. There's like a flip bottom with like a mechanical thing where you had to make a mechanical. I believe it's called mechanical repair, but it's sort of like mechanical knowledge, if you will.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what the name of the skill is. And there was sort of like a drain plug, and you drained off a pile of black liquid. They're around 7 feet high. They're open at the top, but the liquid only goes up to around 6 inches
From the top,
From the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, So you, Althea was going to go check out the room, but you came back. So I'm just going to have you both starting.
Okay.
You know what I mean? With, the liquid was drained down so far that you've seen sort of like a body lean against, and the body looks a lot like skeet. And it's covered in this black liquid. Yeah. I believe that's where we ended the last game.
Yeah. Because I would have turned around and come back when Marion yelled.
Yeah, and that's just what we're gonna. That's what she's gonna have. You didn't really have much of a chance to.
Yeah. I'm going to duck back down to the mechanical equipment, the pipes, and stop the drain.
Yeah, you stop the drain. It's around. Yeah, it's around here.
Okay.
It's around just below the rib cage.
Okay.
And the body just seems to be leaned against.
Like it's kind of slumping, like it was being held up by the liquid or whatever.
Yeah. Or
like suspended in it.
Yeah. If you will.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it seems like.
Okay.
And the black liquid is pretty thick, right? It's not like water?
No, it's not very thick.
Oh.
You do realize that it is not the same as the goo.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay? It seems, if it is, it's a lot more diluted.
Yeah.
Or mixed in with water or some other chemical, if you will.
Interesting.
Yeah. Could I have a quick question, Marion? Do you have? Can I see your character sheet for a second, actually? Because I am going to be calling for a check, but I want to make sure that you are also able to make a check, although it might be for something different. So I'm not going to call for 1% on that.
Did I take some like vials and stuff and had them like on my person?
I'd have to go way back.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember.
But you are
roll
quite...
a luck roll to see if
because we were talking about where I had the bottles of, but they were
ask to roll.
They had stuff in them with like the syringe. I took a syringe
Oh yeah,
and
you
stuff.
did.
But that actually had like.
Well, what would you like to do
those
first?
were at the house. I don't remember if you brought them.
Yeah. No, I was just I couldn't remember if I had taken anything that would have been empty that I could collect a sample or something.
Well, I would say that in your doctor/forensics bag.
I don't have it. I'm dressed as a serving person.
That's where it would be.
Yeah. Yeah, that was why I specifically remember us talking about the drugs and having a syringe that I like.
How about
I had it under my clothes.
How about we just call for a luck roll? And if you have a luck roll, I'm going to say you have, 1d4 empty vials on you.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Yep.
If you succeed on your luck roll.
19 out of 75.
Okay, so roll me a d4.
What did I do with my D4?
You probably put them away because okay.
I kept out one of each that I knew I might need to roll for sanity. Loss. 1.
You have one, just vial. One
Yeah,
vial,
like
and
a-
it's in a little sleeve,
Yeah,
little leather
like
sleeve.
a little cork with a cork.
Well, there's a cork. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
just an open vial. That would be
Let me
useless.
just throw this in here.
Yeah, let me just. No, that makes sense.
All right. Is it possible? Is there some way with the liquid, like, when she's like shutting it off and
No, you have to finish your thought.
and getting the flow to stop? That because I don't want it on my hands and stuff. Is there some way that I can get a little sample of this and cork it without getting it on my skin or anything? If it's not possible, then I'm not going to take a sample.
To not get it on your hands, because it was free flowing down, because there's a slight...
The slope with the drain.
There's a slight slope, right?
Yeah.
It's almost imperceptible. You can get that without getting it on you. If you would like, it would be like a dexterity check. I think that would be fair.
Just a regular one?
Unless you can justify a different type of check. I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm just trying to think of anything that would really work for
The
that.
only other thing I think that would make sense would be forensics, but my dexterity is better than my forensics.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other thing is, of course, it is something that you can burn lock up.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Now, before you roll, let's go to my list!
Oh!
Hey, you can't blame me.
But if you give me that penalty die, now I have no choice but to definitely roll.
Yeah, because you said you were going to roll, and you picked up the dice.
No.
You're rolling it.
Yes, fine.
But let me...
Tell me who's betrayed me right now.
Who's betrayed you?
Ouch.
I'm going to say Lindroska. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Okay.
But Lindroska is giving you a penalty die because fuck you in particular.
All right, well...
Dexterity check as you sort of bring the vial down. Are you going underneath or just from the runoff that's coming down?
I'm going to say the runoff because that will probably be easier to collect from.
Sure.
Than a free flow of like a liquid.
Sure.
Oh.
What'd you roll? What's the 2 percentages? Let's not forget that if it's a critical fumble, that it is not possible to use luck on it.
So my dexterity...
What's your dexterity?
Is 65.
Okay, so cool. You only critically fumble on a 00.
Okay, good. That's good because with the penalty die, I got a 99. If I didn't have the penalty die, I would have had 9%. I got a 90, a 0, and a 9.
Actually, I want to double check.
Oh, come on!
I want to double check because it's an attribute check, not a skill check, and I just want to double check here.
Yeah, that's
I just want to double check certain things.
Well, you know...
Won't take me long.
I mean, even if I was permitted to burn luck on that, that's like... Well... I mean, to burn that much luck on the first... within the first minute? I mean, that would track for us, but that's not a good way to start.
Well, not really,
No.
It's not a good way to start either way, so, I mean...
Yeah, true.
I'm not gonna...
I mean, where we are isn't great. Oh, gosh.
That was beautiful. That is gorgeous.
No, without the penalty die, though, that's a beautiful roll.
It's a beautiful roll either way.
Yeah, that would have been extreme
It's just,
success. Without...
Okay, so... I believe that rule... I'm going to say the rule functions if you have above 50. Same as the way skill works. You only critically fumble on a... Let me finish.
Yeah.
You only critically fumble on 100. Okay. Now, you can... push that roll. Re-roll it with the penalty die.
No.
To see if it's a success or not. Otherwise, if you want to treat it... Are you going to burn the luck then?
I'm not going to push it, and I'm actually not going to burn the luck either.
Okay, so...
That's a lot of luck to burn on something that... No. I'm just going to, when it seems like it might hit my hands, I'm actually just going to let go of the vial.
Okay, well, no, it is going to hit your hands, because that's what the failed dexterity check is.
All right, yeah.
Right? Now, let me describe, because there's no burnt luck, there's no pushed roll. Okay, so... as you put your hand down and you're trying to be ever so careful with the vial, you're almost losing your balance a little bit from trying to be so careful. So you slightly move forward and you catch yourself on your fingers into the liquid, is what you do. Yeah, and it just seems you get a pile of this liquid on your hand. So what's your reaction to this?
My reaction is to first of all, immediately withdraw and my hand. The way I was dressed, do I still have like a small apron on or something?
Well, you never said you were getting out of your servant staff.
Okay, so I want to...
well, it wasn't really an apron.
Yeah, but like let's say
Yeah, I can tell you exactly what you're wearing. It was pants, suspenders, shirt.
Like if there's something on me, I can just take off to like wipe this off of me. That would be my initial thing. You know, treating it like it was acid or I touched something hot.
Like a handkerchief?
It's an unidentifiable liquid in a really messed up planar space. Maybe, I don't know, because this is all just messed up. So yeah, my immediate reaction would be to pull my hand back and try to clean it off.
Okay, so the thing is that you were wearing the serving staff clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a shirt, suspenders, pants, socks. Do you want to wipe it off in your pants? Do you want to...
I'm gonna take off one of my shoes, remove a sock,
done,
and do it that way because I don't want it staying on me.
Done.
And then I'll put my shoe back on because I feel like
Fair enough. As you're doing that, you need to make a dexterity check because you might fall over into the liquid and play it. No, that's fair. You take off a sock, but anyway, what happens is as you're reaching down and you flip your shoe off, and at this point, Marion's underneath turning off the sock off. You don't need to make a mechanical roll for this because you understand how this basic system works.
And as soon as I've closed it, I'm just too distracted by staring at what the heck is this, so I don't even notice what Althea is doing.
You take your sock off, you put your bare foot back into the shoe, and as you're looking at your hand, it almost seems like it's running off you like it's water.
Okay.
Like it doesn't seem to be shooting up your arm. It's almost like running off you like it's water. But it does look like your skin is getting irritated.
Yeah, I want
as you wipe it off, and it's like red marks along your knuckles and the back of your fingers.
Yeah.
From the skin. It's not almost like it's burning, but it's more about like an allergic reaction. Yeah. Almost like an irritant.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Okay.
What did you want to do with the crusty sock? Sorry, what did you want to do with the sock cup filled with the black liquid? Why are you laughing?
I'm going to. Is the drain open? Like it's an open? Like could I throw?
It's sort of like
could I throw the sock in there?
I'm saying it's sort of like a grate.
Yeah.
Is what it is, and it runs in like a.
Yeah.
Like a something.
So are the spaces basically are the spaces?
You
big
can
enough?
Push a sock through the grate.
I'm not pushing a sock through the grate. I want to because I'm not touching it.
The hole. It's not really a hole. It's not big enough for you to just throw a sock in.
Okay, well, I'm just going to take the sock and just toss it on top of the grate for the drain.
Okay, so there is now a sock on top of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Althea, does it look to you? Does this look like something familiar to you?
And before I look up, I'm going to start with, everything about this is not entirely familiar. And then when I look up, I'll be like, maybe somewhat familiar.
All right. I was
maybe
worried I was seeing things.
Maybe too familiar, actually. What the? Okay. Marion, what are we looking at?
Well, we know Skeet has at least one other person who looks very similar to him, but it was his cousin. There's a logical explanation for that. This is something else entirely, and Amos claimed that he saw another individual who looked exactly like Skeet, and we know, and I believe he also claimed he saw a photograph of someone from years ago who looked exactly like Skeet, but I assumed that he was just not seeing the photo correctly or a trick of the light. But this is, I may owe him an apology.
So it wasn't Amos who saw that. It was me.
Oh, then I owe you an apology.
But that's fine. That photo was old. Like it was old. Okay.
You can't recognize anyone in an old photo. I'm still staring at the face that looks like Skeet.
Let's think about this.
Why would anyone put a body in a tank like this? And if there's more than one person who looks like Skeet, and then Did they kill him and put him in here? Did they find a dead body and put him in here? Did they put him in here alive?
Oh, God.
And then I just suddenly, look around at the other tanks.
Can I,
There's a pile of other tanks.
how close to the tank do I have to be to determine where the liquid is now lowered down to,
It's around
Just
just
above
below
waist.
the rib cage.
Yeah.
Oh, just below the rib cage.
How close would I have to be to try and determine if it seems like the person inside is alive? In terms of noticing breathing or eye movement under the eyelids or any indication of life, basically.
Okay.
Are you're stepping forward?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Okay, no. So from this distance, you're right in front of it anyway.
Yeah.
Because you were just at the mechanical thing.
Yeah.
The bottom part of it, you stood up. You're just a little bit over, maybe a couple of feet by the drain. You could step over by Marion.
Okay.
And I would call for a medicine check.
Okay. Yeah, all right, I'll do that.
A medicine or a first aid would work for this. From either of you.
And then as you're stepping forward, then I would also like to roll this. What I'm going to say, as I notice you stepping forward, and say, can you see what killed him? Is there a noticeable wound or can you tell what happened to him? And then I'm going to roll a first aid to see if I can just see any, was he shot in the head or
Okay,
something
so
like that?
it's going to be a medicine check for Althea, trying to figure out, is this person alive
Okay.
at the moment? And it's going to be a first aid check for Marion
Okay.
to try to see
Looking
what
for
wounds,
injuries.
what injuries does this body seem to have.
All right.
Ooh. What is my first aid?
It's 18 out of 70 for my medicine check.
And the first aid?
23 out of 44.
Okay, so put ticks. Fair enough. We're going to start off with Althea. Medicine check wise, this body doesn't seem to be breathing.
Okay.
There's no
obvious movement of any kind.
Well, the head is sort of, slid a bit forward and is leaned against it, and there's no, clouding of the inside of the vat or anything like that. You don't see the chest rise or anything like that. And Marion, as you're looking, you don't really see any wounds, but you both realize, but I'm just going to go to Althea for this actually, because it was a medicine check. Something seems to be a bit off about the top portion of the body. As you're looking at it, and when you first looked at it, it was like, oh yeah, that's a body. But now that you're a bit closer, you're trying to judge breathing and stuff like that, the musculature seems a little bit weird. Is the easiest way to put it. I need you to roll me an idea roll.
Can I just clarify something?
Sure,
quickly?
but yeah.
He's naked.
Yeah, the top part's
Yeah,
it's
we
naked.
don't see any clothes.
Wearing coveralls.
So far. One strap is down.
He's got a little strap that says, I love Pack of Twin Sixes.
Idea roll is 37 out of 70.
Yeah, so, and as you're watching just for that second, as the head's leaned against the glass, you can see this black liquid, because he's covered in this black liquid, seem to be almost like dripping down. And there's almost like it seems a bit too white underneath.
Oh.
It seems a bit too white underneath. And it seems like as the head leaned against the glass, it sort of flattened a little bit, and the face got a little bit distorted. Almost as if it was hollow.
Oh, God.
What have you noticed?
I just leave.
Yeah, there must be bodies in the other tanks, but they can't all be Skeet.
Well, maybe we'll find out, but so you're pretty good with, bandaging and helping people and stuff.
As
like
I need to be?
Okay, so it's a slight anatomy lesson. Do you see when you're looking at the face, so when you look at a person, you can tell that underneath There is flesh. There is bone. There is structure to the inside of that person.
All right. That makes sense.
He does not look like there is anything inside him. There is no structure.
Then how does he hold shape?
It's like he's incomplete.
At this point, Althea, something comes to your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And what comes to your mind is... Remember the duplicate of you? The goo, the clear glue, made an almost perfect duplicate of you, but wasn't fully formed.
She was incomplete.
That is the word incomplete that sparks in your mind. You recall this white residue, this version. Now, I don't believe Marion was there to see that at all, but you do recall that, in your mind, you're like, and then you start realizing, it just, as you glance around, a multitude of vats in this room. There's a lot of vats in this room.
Yep.
And that the black liquid is a bit, it's more diluted. It's not the same that you're familiar with. This may be some kind of experiment.
Marion.
What?
I want to drain more vats. I want to see more of the vats.
Did you find anything else when you were looking around the room?
There wasn't enough time.
Not yet. When you called out to me, I thought it was more important to come back and not be separated.
What if, I'm just thinking, if there's whoever set this up, maybe there's notes or logs of what was happening here. I can start draining vats if you check the sides of the room for any written information. Or we could trade off. I just don't think that... I think that there's more to be found here.
At this point, can I have you both roll me a spot hidden?
No. Do we have the options? No. 77 out of 72.
27 out of 69.
Ooh, still on the 69.
69!
Althea doesn't notice this, but it actually makes sense because it was sort of your idea. Is there any markings? And it sort of gets into your head, and you notice, because you're facing the vat head on, or at least that
This
side
vat.
of the cube.
Yeah.
But you notice what appears to be something just on the to your right, the right-hand side of the vat, and as you just lean your head talking about it, there seems to be, in like a marker, a number.
What number?
The number is 18018. That's all. Like, it's not on a piece of paper. There's there's not a number sign, pound sign, hashtag, whatever it's called nowadays.
018.
Old man snow. But it's 018. And it's a bit faded, which is why you didn't notice it. It's only because you said.
Yeah.
These,
is it the kind of thing where it's written in black and the liquid is black, so we can only see it now that it's
100% Marion. 100% Marion.
So it's only noticeable now that you're
covering
dragging
up
it down.
your Jim's mistakes.
No, I'm just wondering because then the next question is, if we can't, can we or not see it on the other vats?
You'd have to go inspect them.
Oh, okay.
Like, you'd have to go. But you're unsure if you'd be able to, because it would probably blend in so well.
Yeah.
Right? And this room is lit. And as you're sort of looking up, it seems almost like there's pot lights. I don't know if they existed then, but they're small lights, but they're not giving off a lot of light, right? So it's not super bright.
Yeah.
I was picturing it almost like each light would come down on a vat or above a vat, and then the light, and just like it would be on a vat, but there would be no lights in between where you would walk between them. That's how I pictured it when we came in here.
Yes, it is like that, except and saying that you notice that even though it appears to be haphazard, there are groupings of vats under the lights.
Yeah.
You notice there are no vats in the darkness of the room.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
You notice that. I don't know why I said that so loud.
Well, yeah, but that's how it, like, when you came in and the lights were on, your eyes would be drawn to the vats.
Yeah.
And they would be what's observed.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't have a flashlight.
You do have your little mag light, don't you?
Okay.
Because it's not a mag light.
Yeah,
it says you and Simon are the only ones with
little
these small flashlights.
And it was small enough I could have put it in my pocket and snuck it in.
Hashtag Team Marion.
Yeah. So I'm going to pull that out.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull that out and say, would you rather drain vats or go looking for other information? We don't have a lot of time here.
All right. How about we both go and drain another vat, and then if it confirms some of what I'm thinking this is, then we'll drain. You drain more because you already know how it works, and I will go looking for research notes and things because perhaps I will recognize that more.
On the condition that if it does corroborate what you're thinking, you tell me what that theory is.
100%.
Okay.
100%. I just
gonna go to a vat that's in the same grouping as the one that we're currently at. So we need one that's like right next door.
Right next to it?
And drain that.
Okay. This vat, as you shine the light on the side, that light itself you can sort of pick out. And this one is 017 if it's right next to it. So you're doing that. You're going down, drain it. Are you standing there with her, or are you going to explore the room?
No, I'm gonna just to drain this next one. I'm gonna stay with her, and then after that, we'll determine if I'm going to walk away or not.
Okay, fair enough. So as you get down to the drain plug, it's the easiest way for me to call it, but there's like a little.
Yeah.
What's it? You know, like
a valve?
Yeah, like a valve. Yeah, where you just open it up and it starts running out. Chemistry roll, either of you?
I have biology and pharmacy and forensics.
I have none of those things. I have
so
the 1% in science.
Yeah, if you wanted to do it, it would be the base 1% science if you wanted chemistry.
I have a 15 in natural world.
I have 26 in natural world.
Yeah, it's not really... You can roll a spot hidden, but it doesn't seem like the right roll for it. From what you've known, just both of you roll me percentages.
Okay.
I just want to see what you roll.
63.
13.
13?
Yeah.
Okay. Your chemistry is 1%. Correct? Sciences?
Yeah, science is 1%.
You rolled a 13.
Yeah, I could burn...
Did you want to burn 12 luck?
Yeah, I will.
There we go.
Okay.
Cool.
That works then.
I asked for that just to see if one of you rolled low enough that you're really... Now, see, this is what all the viewers and getting this extra luck for you it's worked it out. So that why not spend the 12?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you get a... Oh, you're not supposed to get a tick in chemistry when you spend luck, but I'm going to allow it.
Oh.
Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah.
Who am I hurting? Who am I
I'd
hurting?
laugh so hard if when we went to roll skills, you rolled a 1%.
Given the percentage, the chances it's going to go up are very slim, but okay.
Okay, so you realize right away it's almost imperceptible, which is why I was calling for the chemistry check. I guess physics would have worked as well.
We don't have physics.
Yeah, I know. That the viscosity of the liquid, it is a little bit even thinner than the previous one. And that makes you realize that if this was an experiment, then each vat may be slightly different mixture.
Right now I'm thinking I have a theory based around our previous knowledge and what we're seeing now that when we drain this vat, I'm going to share it regardless of what we see inside.
Okay. So as once again, as the vat drains down, you start seeing the body. It does look a lot like Skeet. Again, Skeet.
I'm going to stop it at approximately the same spot.
At around the same spot, except now the body
slump differently.
Slumps differently. It's not like they all slump exact. That's too creepy.
Yeah.
No, but it's not like they all slump the same. It slumps back. Something that I don't even need a check for in this respect is that, especially with your successful medicine before, I'm following on Althea because of the medical background.
That makes sense.
You realize that this body is, it's still very slight, but it's slightly less formed than the other body. Okay, if that makes sense.
Once I shut the stopcock, I'm gonna.
Cock.
I couldn't remember the word valve briefly.
It's a good thing we're adult rated.
I'm gonna stand up and just stand back and go. Where did they find so many people who look like Skeet?
I don't think that's what's happening here, Marion. That's not what's happening at all. Okay, so I don't have a lot of chemistry background. I know more about anatomy and the formation of the human body and all of that. This looks to me like an experiment. And I just kind of step back to number 18 vat that's next to us or whatever. And I just kind of gesture or point with my finger as if I had a pointer, This body is not fully formed. It's not as much structure, but you have to look closely and you have to know that it's not. You have to be able to see the subtle differences.
Now, saying that, and I'm sorry, I know I jump in a lot when people are role-playing, but this is important. As you look at VAT 18 now, it looks like, and Marion, you notice this as well, the body is starting to break down.
Is the liquid, the black liquid that's dripping off of it, I'm assuming the majority of the would be dripping off it has finished, is dripped off. Is there more coming out of the eyes, ears, nose, and mouth?
The whole body is breaking down.
Okay.
As you look at VAT 18.
Okay.
Being out of the liquid.
Yeah.
It's actually breaking down.
So it looks like it's kind of breaking down from the top down rather than just
down.
Draining out of the...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Top down.
Is it melting, breaking down, or just crumbling? Is it...
Melting. More liquid. More like the liquid is...
Okay. So if it was a hollow piece of wax.
Yeah, I guess so.
Kind of And you can... And now...
Althea, not to break your train of thought, do I know about the goo body of you?
No.
Okay, cool.
Oh, you never told the party? Okay.
The only person who knows about it was who was there with me.
Okay, fair enough. Simon.
Yeah.
Do you recall when Agatha lost her eye, and then obviously you recall 5 minutes ago in the chamber we were just in, the slugs forming into the shape of a person that they saw.
I remember that in my kitchen.
Exactly. How is it possible that this goo is in some way connected to that ability of the slugs? And we saw similar liquids, although it does seem to be different. Associated with the slugs, but not necessarily connected between one and the other, but...
So, I do think it's connected to the slugs, Marion. But unfortunately, I think it might be connected to more than that. Alright, I have to tell you something. And when I tell you this, I need you to understand that for my home and my family and my bloodline, there have been a lot of things that have changed for me lately, and I didn't feel comfortable sharing a lot of things. What I'm about to tell you is the only other person who knows this is Simon. To a certain extent.
Okay.
So, you have all been in that strange theater under my home.
Yes, and you said you didn't know where it came from, you weren't familiar with it.
And I don't necessarily still know for certain yet where it may have come from. But I had been there before. I had been there more than once before. Not just in the theater, but finding my way there.
Recently, or growing up in that house?
Recently.
Oh.
A lot of things have been very recent for me. Prior to me being there, not prior to me being there, but I had gotten lost in the passageways there. And I saw something. I saw something that I wish I hadn't seen, but makes a lot more sense now.
What? Was it more of... Was it another skeet? I just sort of gesture at the melting skeet in the vat.
No, it was myself.
How?
It was myself. It was laying in a hallway when Simon and I were leaving. And I couldn't help myself. Against his judgment, I had to look. And it was me. But it was not me. It was VAT 17.
Oh.
Now that I'm looking at it. But there was no black goo. There were no slugs. There was...
Was she alive in any way?
I'd like to say no. But it was easier for me to tell myself that she wasn't. Because that way I could run with no guilt.
Is she still there?
I don't know. I haven't. I have a theory. Among some of my family's things, I found, and in my lab right now, there are 2 vials that I had found, and I stored them away. One had black goo in it, and the other a clear liquid. Looking at these vats, separately, the liquid in these vats is neither one of those things, but together they could be. In different chemical mixtures together, different parts, like mixing water with something and getting different types of liquid each time.
Where was the clear liquid from?
I don't know.
And the version of yourself, she came out of the black goo?
No. Oh, okay. No, I was just going to say, Althea, you do know that the clear liquid was because you backed into it. It was coating the walls.
Yes.
Of like the catacomb area of the. Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to keep going.
I thought she was not though. Like she wasn't formed from black goo.
It was clear glue. Because remember, you had leaned into it in the dark
on the wall,
and it seemed to this white clear liquid seemed to push itself.
Yeah.
and almost tried to go in your mouth
Yes.
and up your nose, and then Skeet came
Yes. Yeah.
and brought you out of it.
Brought me out of it.
And the second time, it was you, Simon, and Skeet.
Yeah.
Skeet was there every time.
Yeah, yes.
It was you, Simon, and Skeet trying to leave in the maze.
Yes.
And you looked over, and in the same
And I
area
s-
where you
yeah.
had been almost coated,
Yeah. There was a
was-
version of me, but it was clear. It was all like...
it was clear.
It was clear.
It was clear.
Yeah. I have a theory.
What's that?
Whatever is happening here is sinister. Is absolutely sinister. We have seen that black goo is sinister to its core.
I will believe that, yes.
The slugs and that black goo, what they create is monstrous. But the clear didn't feel monstrous. I didn't run away from myself for fear of monstrosity, really, so much as
The version of yourself was made of the clear liquid that you have in the vial.
well,
Have you compared the two
no,
chemically?
we hasn't really been time to do much.
This is true.
I believe that whoever's doing this is taking these two things. Maybe one is inherently neutral and the other is inherently monstrous, but when you mix them together, you can create something more complete, perfected.
And you think someone is attempting to create a skeet, or has already done so. And that explains the other versions of him that we have come across.
I think so. And
Then we need to get rid of it. And I'm going to go over and open the valve on number 17. Because that's what I'm standing next to.
well, yeah, because it needs to break down, I guess. Because it's not, whatever it is isn't natural in general. Like whatever.
It's created by someone.
Yeah. So, and we don't know what the real intent is, but what we've seen has not been good.
No.
Okay.
We need more information, and we need to stop this.
Okay.
With what you've been saying, I am actually going to call for an idea roll from both of you.
Okay.
Because there's a little bit of information that was said, and I might be able to fill in a couple of leaps in mine, but...
Ooh.
87 out of 70.
89 out of 65.
Would either of you like to burn luck to make it a success?
I would. I'm going to burn 17 luck.
Go ahead. This is what this luck is here for.
Yep.
It is given by the people to enable these checks. Now, I could have been a dick
You
and
could.
gave both of you penalty dice,
you
and I
coulda.
should have.
That being said,
Actually, if you'd given me a penalty die, I probably would have rolled better on the second die, and the 89 would still have been what I ended up
Yeah.
with.
that being said, if I have to make a luck roll to save my life anytime soon, it might not go well for me. Okay, but yes, I burned the luck.
So ID roll, as that's rolling around in your mind, and you were talking about the slugs, and the goo making monstrous, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you start realizing something, okay? That this seems like it was some kind of an experiment. You're not really sure if the experiment was to get... You seem like it's different mixtures of something trying to create something,
Yes.
right? And it seems like that in the two vats you opened, that there seemed to be replicas of skeet.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
The clear replicas like you had seen in the catacombs by the theater.
Yes.
Okay. Back up a second.
Okay.
The slugs. The slugs excrete
The black liquid.
the black liquid.
Yeah.
Sometimes, actually, in Swill's gullet, there was slightly greenish as well.
Oh, yeah.
But that
Yeah.
might have had to do with
A sinister-looking liquid.
a sinister-looking liquid. Okay? But like they excrete a black liquid. And it seems that the slugs get in you
Yeah.
and make you into a monster.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's
Yes.
malformed, it's disgusting, it's a monstrosity, and stuff like that. Okay. So just stick with me for a second. So that seems to be, I hate to put it this way, a natural function of the slugs.
Yes.
Yes.
Now
like
let's
like a parasite.
So as a reach in mind, the slugs being creatures,
Yeah.
they do that innately.
Yes.
Okay. Now there might be some kind of hive mind, there might be something else about it, but
Yes.
in the end, that's what they do.
Yeah. That's their purpose.
So what would happen if a couple of smart people decided, that's so interesting. How about we research this and see if we can get from the black liquid what we need to do something that we could actually use.
Yeah.
Okay? I know this sounds like it might be a bit of a leap.
No.
Yeah.
So
no, it makes
you've
sense.
learned from what you've talked about, and I'm
Yeah.
just throwing this out there, that it could be, like the idea
Yeah.
roll, thought in the mind, that the black liquid came first. The clear liquid is the experiment.
It's the final product.
It's the final product. It is, for some reason, okay,
Yep.
what was created. Now, the problem is, the only place you've really seen clear liquid is in Aloysius's Goodyear's theater.
And in the
That-
vial, then his coat.
You're not sure if it was his coat,
Well, yeah, but
right?
yeah.
But down in the catacombs. Okay. Yeah. So you feel that. Now you're not sure where the slugs came from.
Nope.
You're not sure of
Yeah.
anything like that.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
You have. It seems connected to the Silver Twilight Lodge. Aloysius Goodyear seems connected. Your grandfather seems connected to the lodge. Yeah. I don't know if that's.
No, that's
Does that answer some of your questions, though?
well. It
The only question is why would it be Skeet?
Yep.
Yeah.
Why would it be Skeet? There isn't a body there that's being changed.
Nope.
So why would it be Skeet?
Marion.
Yeah. I've already moved on to vat number 16, and I'm opening the drain there.
Marion.
What?
The slugs.
The slugs are the source of the black liquid. That's
Marion,
where they
they're
come from. That's what do you mean?
okay. Keep doing what you're doing, and I'm just gonna keep talking while you walk around and like start draining these vats. Or whatever. Okay, stay with me.
Okay.
The slugs. We've seen them secrete that disgusting black ichor goo.
Yeah.
And we know that when they get into a body, they transform it into something that, honestly, I don't want to linger my thoughts on too long.
Oh, and they also have the ability to mimic.
To mimic. To a certain degree. To a certain degree they mimic. But it's always monstrous. It's always something unnatural looking that they produce.
Correct.
They're lab rats, Marion.
The slugs?
The slugs are lab rats. When I saw myself in that hallway, I was not monstrous. I was new. But I was hideous in a way that's terrifying, that when you look in the mirror and you see something you don't expect to see.
How often does that happen to you?
Just stay with me. Stay with me, Marion. But I wasn't monstrous. I was almost a mirror.
Perhaps the slugs are the source of this liquid, the source of the mimic, the source of the transformational change. This black goo, Skeet, and I kind of gesture at the vat that we're draining now, is the lab rat, is the experimental creature, is what was used to purify, modify, distill whatever source of transformation these slugs produce into the clear form that you found.
Maybe. But why Skeet?
Yes, that is very much the question. There's certainly more to Skeet's story than perhaps even he knows.
Marion, would you describe Skeet as someone that if you didn't know him and you passed him in the street, would you remember him at all?
I don't believe I would notice him at all if I passed him in the street if I didn't already know him.
No, I don't think I would either.
Something that you said that I'm also going to expand a bit on. Hey, we're at Silver Twilight Lodge. I get to expand on a couple of things. You started referring to the slugs as the source. You're not sure where they came from, what they're from, blah, 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 blah. Fair enough. But you were talking about why Skeet. Why would these be doing Skeet? And I'm just going to throw something out there as well. A bit of information that you know is the creature, the monstrosity that was in the staff's dining room mimicked you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
The slug, the queen, the type of slug it was, it mimicked you. Mm-hmm. But also, the small slugs that came out of the pincushion man's body also mimicked you.
Yeah.
Right? Even though you were there. It's could be a little bit of a leap, but there is the thought that once they mimic you,
they always can.
It mightn't be. It's a stretch.
Yeah.
I give it that, but it mightn't be as much that.
Althea, we first saw these slugs at Swill's Gullet, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah,
and
I believe so.
Skeet was the only person left in town when we arrived. Mm-hmm. Perhaps whoever collected the goo here, whatever slugs they used, had already mimicked Skeet. And whoever's experiment this is didn't choose Skeet as the model. The slugs did. They already had a blueprint, and they were just following what they already knew.
All the better if it's someone that nobody would care about.
Or that nobody knows anymore. Whatever happened in that town, whatever chased away or otherwise eliminated the other villagers. We still don't know why Skeet was the only one left. I've been assuming that the majority of the villagers simply left, and Skeet was more stubborn than most. But there may be other reasons.
Maybe. But Marion, I hate. Despite what he has done to my property and the amount I'm spending in oranges lately, I do like the man.
I think we all do.
I hate.
Maybe Amos doesn't, but the rest of us do.
I really want to believe that the person who left Swill's Gullet with us, the person who saved my life by reinforcing the side of my car?
More than once. That saved all of our lives. And he has been nothing but helpful and nothing but
okay.
Cooperative, and I whatever is happening to Skeet, I don't believe it's his fault.
So, alright. So let's put it down to this then. Let's say that our Skeet is not is not the original. Let's say that he was formed here. The question then that remains is, does he know that? Is he the original in his mind and does not inform? Or is he controlled by something else? That would be interesting, actually. Really, we've never encountered the only malevolence we've encountered in things that transform have been the slugs.
That seems more distressing than interesting, but I do see where you're going with this.
Maybe nobody who might be in these vats has any idea what is happening to them.
If they even know who they are.
They do seem to be hollow.
Yes, but...
Oh, these ones.
Yeah.
These ones, but...
We don't even know if these creatures are capable of thought. Our Skeet may be the originator.
Maybe. We're answering questions, Marion, but we're getting just as many in return, to a certain extent.
We do need more information.
You've talked about the slugs.
Mm-hmm.
You've talked about the liquid, the black goo, if you will, that they excrete and what they do to people when they get into them. You've talked about the clear liquid. You've talked about what this means for the ramifications of whatever this refers to for skeet. And, a pile of different things. I mean, it's not that it's answering questions, but it's giving you more points to think about. But the slugs and the clear goo in the catacombs are not the only things you've seen.
No.
In the basement of the haunted house,
There was a lot
there
of
was
black.
a big black goo creature. And I'm pretty sure Marion
remembers
threw a
it.
Bible down its throat.
Yeah.
I think so. With this black goo up along the walls.
Yeah.
Because you were taken.
Mm-hmm.
And that seemed different, but now it jumps into your mind as, what the fuck was that?
Mm-hmm.
Because it had more control.
Yeah.
Right? Like it shot up, grabbed you with goo, pulled you down into the basement as well. And in the backyard of that
There was
house,
a
there was
vat.
a shed with a vat, an open vat. As well, just like these are open. It was an open vat.
I just had a thought. So the house. Well, this is like the house. Do you remember what was in the basement?
Gaul's house? Of course.
So, Marion, after what we've seen here that Gohl has done, and what we've seen here that, well, let's be frank, this lodge, this gentleman's club, what they have here, that's not Gohl's house. That's Gohl's obsession. He is still a question mark, but I think it's very obvious that Gohl is not a member of this club.
Yes.
And I think we can agree that though perhaps all the members here aren't aware of what's going on, there are definitely some who are. Which would mean that house was never Gohl's. It was just somewhere that he maybe went or knew about.
There was never any proof that Gohl ever actually spent any time at that house.
It was just written in his journal.
in a journal
Yeah.
that was found at the bell tower
Yes.
of the Church of Contemplation.
So, question, just because to jog my memory, because Agatha had spent time with Gohl and stuff, when we were looking at that journal, when it wasn't, driving us crazy, did at any point did she confirm or say that the writing in it and stuff was similar to Gohl's handwriting?
I don't think so.
I don't think that
came up.
was brought up.
No.
I believe that this was discussed before, and it's so long in between games. I believe something along the lines of the haunted house was discussed before, or the scenario that my version of that scenario, which people seem to like, which I'm really thankful about. But it was mostly the mentality of a little bit of information you have that really brought into question. It's sort of piecing together certain things in your mind. It might have went over before and it might just be forgotten, or I'm just going to give you some more information of connection points that you have. I'm just skimming back through my notes.
So
the idea was at some point, I'd have to look through the Bible, but we're really pushing past the limits of an episode here. And I believe it was Amos who said it, but I could be wrong, that the house wasn't Gohl's house.
Yeah.
The house was more tied to Walter Corbett.
But we were still wondering if Gohl had
Access.
taken it over at some point or accessed it for his use or something.
We more found out, that it was more tied to Walter Corbett after we had already been there.
After you had already been there, This was one of those things that were discussed, but there's so many gaps, like long periods of time between playing, which I think I found a system to do away with.
Althea, before we go too far, do you mind if we just take a quick look and see if there's any other information in this room?
Yes, and I will agree that while we do it, we drain more vats.
Yeah. I've been draining as we go.
So what you do notice is because you're opening up so many vats, it's too much liquid for the great, you know what I mean?
We're overloading the system.
Especially there's a sock blocking the way.
Yeah.
You notice there's a sock there.
Weird.
There's a sock there out of nowhere. And you notice that, I believe it was 17 you drained fully first. Yeah. Once it's fully drained, you can see the body breaking down, but you notice there's like a white gooey residue left that isn't going through the drain.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's sort of sticking to the surface. Okay?
Yeah.
When it starts to look like the can't all go through the drain, I'm going to stop draining vats. I'm going to leave the ones that are open, and I'm going to pull out my flashlight and start looking at this in the dark parts of the room.
Thank you for listening to The Call. Our next episode will air Tuesday, May 2nd, with Spacers, our sci-fi podcast, awaiting us all to get together again before recording more episodes. Please leave us a review in your podcast app of choice, and visit our main website for merch and Ko-fi information. As usual, we love to thank all of our donators over on Ko-fi, including Darth Zahn, Leo, Shadow, Rose, TJ, Josiah, Lynn Draska, Tavin, Eden Flynn, Flatted Fifth, Noah, Alex B, Rosa, Tyler, James, Noops, D Devil 1193, and Alec. Music and ambient tracks licensed to Triumph Films and Artlist. Your players for tonight were Elizabeth Wells, Janessa Coles, Lindsay Delansky, and Zach Barrett. Your producer was Rob Hickey, and your GM, or keeper, was Derek Snow. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.